So let us now continue with the revision module 2.2 email security, referring to the same textbook, chapter 19, William Stelling, Cryptography and Network Security Principles. The learning objectives is we have already done with PGP, that is pretty good privacy, and we have also seen an overview of MIME. In this, we will be looking at the functionality of SMIME, that is Secure Multipurpose Internet Mails Extension, and also we will summarize some key functional components of Internet Mail architecture. So the same thing now in SMIME, we'll be looking into the RF532 multipurpose internet mail we have seen. So now we will look into SMIME functionality. So SMIME, that is Secure Multipurpose Internet Mail Extension. It's a secure system of sending email that uses the reverse channel Edelman RSA encryption system. It is included in the latest version of all web browsers such as Microsoft and Netscape. Now, RSA has proposed SMIME it also as a standard to Internet Engineering Task Force, that is IETE. In terms of general functionality, SMIME is very similar to PGP. SMIME is based on public key infrastructure or asymmetric encryption, and it facilitates email security by virtue of encryption, authentication, and integrity. The encryption takes care of its integrity as it doesn't allow an unauthorized third party to intercept and tamper with the data. Continuing with the functionality, the emails from your inbox are very vulnerable to theft as the emails are stored unencrypted on the servers. Also, it does not protect your emails which are on transmit to other servers. To eliminate this issue, we can install SMIME client certificate. The SMIME works on the principles of public key infrastructure PKI like SSI certificates. The only key difference is that the certificates in SMIME are installed on the clients while SSL TLS certificates are implemented on the server. So this is the difference. Coming to the functionality, it provides cryptographic security services for electronic messaging application. For authentication, it is message integrity, and for non-repudiation of origin using digital signatures privacy. And also data security using encryption. And also SMIME specifies the MIME type application PKCS7 MIME. This is the SMIME type enveloped data for data enveloping and crypting, where the whole prepared MIME entity to be enveloped is encrypted and packed into an object which subsequently is inserted into an application, that is PKCS7 MIME entity. So this is how SMIME functions. These are the data types of SMIME, that is enveloped data, signed data, clear signed data, signed and enveloped data. So looking at the enveloped data, it consists of encrypted content of any type of and encrypted content encryption keys for one or more recipients. The signed data is formed by taking the message digest of the content to be signed and then encrypting that with a private key of the signer. The content plus signature are then encoded using base64 encoding. A signed data message can be viewed with a recipient with SMIME capability. So this is signed data. Coming to clear signed data, as with this signed data, a digital signature of the content is formed. However, in this case, only the digital signature is encoded using base64. As a result, the recipient without SMIME capability can view the message content, although they cannot verify the signature. So this is the clear signed data. Next is signed and enveloped data. Signed only and encrypted only entities may be nested so that encrypted data may be signed and signed data or clear signed data may be encrypted. So these are the data types of SMIME. Algorithms used in SMIME. So these are the different functions that we'll be seeing, and these are the requirements. So if you see, create a message digest to be used in forming a digital signature. So this is the functionality. Requirement is must support SHA-1. So this, if I have to use this function, it has to be the system has to support the SHA-1, and receiver should support MD5 for background capability. Next is encrypt message digest to form a digital signature. Then the sending and receiving agent must support DSS. Also, the sending agents should support RSA encryption, whereas the receiving agent should support verification of RSA signatures with key sizes 512 bits to 1024. Next, coming to this functionality, that is encrypt session key for transmission with a message. Then the requirements at the sending end and the receiving agents should support the Diffie-Hellman. Then, and sending and receiving agents must support RSA encryption with key sizes 512 bits to 1024. Encryption messages for transmission with one-time session key. That is, sending and receiving agent must support encryption with triple DES, and sending agent should support encryption with DES, and sending agents should support encryption with RC2 by 40. Create a message authentication code. That is, the receiving agent must support HMAC and SHA-1, and sending agent should support HMAC with SHA-1. So this is the cryptographic algorithms that I use in S-MIME. So what are the rules to be followed by the sending agent? So the following rules in the following order should be followed by the sending agent. That is, the sending agent should choose the highest preference capability on the list that is capable of using. So what are its capabilities? It has to choose. Next, if the sending agent has received one or more messages from the recipient, then the outgoing message should use the same encryption algorithm as was used on the last signed and encrypted message received from that intended recipient. Third, if the sending agent has no knowledge about the decryption capabilities of the intended recipient and is willing to risk that the recipient may not be able to decrypt the message, then the sending agent should use triple DES. And fourth, if the sending agent has no knowledge about the decryption capability of the intended recipient and is not willing to risk that the recipient may not be able to decrypt the message, then sending agent must use RC2 by 40. So these are the rules and order followed by the sending agent. We have also specified in the previous table what are the rules and what are the requirements of the senders and recipients agents. We have also dealt with the rules and order to be followed for the sending agent. So now let us summarize, let us go for S-MIME message. So S-MIME message and the certificate processing and enhanced security services. We have seen that S-MIME new content type, we'll have to look into this. Then securing a MIME entity, S-MIME content types, that is encrypting and decrypting of enveloped data, signed data, clear signing. So this is these are the things that we will be dealing with in this particular video. So S-MIME message format, looking into the S-MIME type. So these are the content types. As we have seen earlier, the types here are only two, that is multi-part and application. And these are the subtype, that is, if it is multi-part, the subtype will be signed, and a clear signed message in two parts. The description part is, one is the message and the other is the signature. So this is how multi-part type is used. Then the application, another type is the application, and the subtype for that is PKCS7 MIME, okay, and PKCS7 signature. So these are the subtypes, and these are the S-MIME parameters that are being used in this subtype applications. So when they say signed data, it is a sign S-MIME entity. If they say enveloped data, then it is an encrypted S-MIME entity. And for degenerate signed data, an entity containing only public key certificates. And if the compressed data, then a compressed S-MIME entity. So we will be looking again what are these entities. Signed data, the content type of the signature subpart of the multi-part is a signed message. So with a signature, encryption, or both. A MIME entity may be an entire message except for RFC 5322 header, or if the MIME content type is multi-part, then a MIME entity is one or more of the subparts of the message. Then the MIME entity plus some security related data such as algorithm identifiers and certificates are processed by SMIME to produce what is known as PKCS objects. PKCS object is then treated as message content and wrapped in a MIME header. So this is how we can secure a MIME entity. So after seeing the new content type and securing MIME entity, let us look at the SMIME content types, that is encrypting and decrypting of enveloped data, signed data, and clear. So these are, we know that already we have seen that the functions provided by SMIME are enveloped data, signed data, clear signed data, and signed enveloped data. Okay. When we look at the enveloped data, the steps for preparing an envelope data MIME entity are: first, generate a pseudo-random session key for a particular symmetric encryption algorithm, that is RC2 by faulty or triple DES. And for each recipient, encrypt a session key with the recipient's public RSA key. And third, for each recipient, prepare a block known as the recipient info that contains an identifier of the recipient's public key certificate, an identifier of the algorithm used to encrypt the session key, and the encrypted session key. And the fourth is encrypt the message content with the session key. So these are the steps for preparing the enveloped data MIME entity. Next, encrypting the enveloped data message. So coming to this, to recover the encrypted message, so it is for encrypted message, the recipient first strips off the base 64. So this is at the decrypting. Then the recipient's private key is used to recover the session key. Finally, the message content is decrypted with the session key. So this is decrypted data. Next is the signed data. The steps for preparing a signed data MIME entity are: select a message digest algorithm such as SHA or MD5 and compute the message digest, that is hash function of the content to be signed. Encrypt the message digest with the signer's private key and prepare a block known as signer info that contains the signer's public key certificate, an identifier of the message digest algorithm, an identifier of the algorithm used to encrypt the message digest, and encrypted message digest. So this is your signed data. Coming to decrypting signed data, to recover the signed message and verify the signature, the recipient first strips off the base 64 encoding. Then the signer's public key is used to decrypt the message digest. The recipient independently computes the message digest and compares it to the decrypted message digest to verify the signature. Coming next to clear signing. Clear signing is achieved using the multi-part content type with a signed subtype. As was mentioned, this signing process does not involve transforming the message to be signed so that the message is sent in the clear. Thus, recipients with MIME capability but not SMIME capability are able to read the incoming message. So this is, we clearly told what is clear signed data earlier. So a multi-part or signed message, it has two parts. The first part can be a MIME type but must be prepared so that it will not be altered during the transfer from source to destination. This means that if the first part is encoded using base 64 or quoted printable, then an object with a signed data format is created that has an empty message content field. This object is a detached signature. It is then transfer encoded using base 64 to become the second part of the multi-part signed message. This second part has a MIME content type of application and a subtype of PKCS7 signature. So clear signing, this is how it has been achieved in using the multi-part content type with a signed subtype. So this is the summary of this module. In this lecture, we have discussed on SMIME message formats, SMIME new content types, securing a MIME content, SMIME content types, that is encrypting and decrypting of enveloped data, signed data clearing. So I thank you and please feel free to ask any questions.